awkward now, a bit like for Nokia. What'd you do, Nokia? I'm not sure. But anyway, this person was asking him about what would happen to him, and the answer from Ballmer was the interesting part. And I saw that on Grok which was very careful to point out the response. And Ballmer was kind of joking, and a joke, the sort of joke you make when you're embarrassed or when you don't really want to answer the question seriously. So it does seem as though Ballmer might voluntarily decide to step down if he's not able to sell the phones, especially now that phones become a very big market and nothing else seems to fit on any of the devices. I mean, things like tablets actually blur the gap between the so-called PC or so-called desktop and anything else. And if they cannot actually make sure that they can compete with the agility of the platforms from Apple and from mostly Apple, from Google now, I think these are the main contenders in the form of companies and not in the form of a piece of software. If they cannot keep up with Apple and Google, which both almost exceed, in case of Apple, they exceed Microsoft in value, and that probably still is the case, and Google is approaching them as far as I know. And Microsoft becomes like the third company. Microsoft becomes like the one trying to catch up with the big companies, but Microsoft still has the legacy. So a situation with Nokia now, where they have still a kind of, as far as I know, a majority market share globally. That's the situation with Windows in some sense. It just cannot keep up with the competition. It still has lots of momentum. So.
Right. Well, thank you for that. We're going to start looking at rounding off the show. But before we do that, since we just finished off on some predictions and some teasers of sorts which may happen, I'm going to pass you back over to Gordon, who has a little bit of news on the possible future and a couple of ideas of TechBytes. So, Gordon, the microphone's all yours. You give us a teaser.
Right. TechBytes is evolving. We are in the process of building a new site. Well, I say we, I mean me. It's Drupal. I'm not going to give away the link as yet. We will do that. We've got a few things in mind for the site. We've got links for MP3 feeds, for the OGG feed. We've got a few other things to do with the site, but we will announce that when it's ready. At the moment, we're putting the backlog of episodes on with show notes spread over Tim's site and over Roy's. So we're moving all the backlog of stuff onto the new site and getting it all formatted properly and getting all of us up to speed on how to use the new site and familiarise ourselves with it. So yeah, I mean, stay tuned. Either the next episode or the one after that, we should be ready to announce and give out the link and get people involved in that. So yeah, and we've got a new IRC channel as well, specifically for the show. And again, we'll be introducing that at the same time, so you'll be able to join in with us at that point. And then we're leaving it open for, at some point in the future, we may look into doing it on something like Ustream or TalkShoe, where we can actually stream it, the recording live, and have a set time for the show. But these are things we're still sort of discussing and trying to figure out. So yeah, that's a little teaser that we've got. Things, TechBytes is evolving. We're dragging it kicking and screaming into 2011. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, no, I'll just end. I mean, obviously, I've been in the position, same as Roy, to see the beta version, so to speak, and it is very impressive. It's going to totally change around the way the site's accessed, and I'm really impressed with this. I think it's going to make the show a lot more accessible for a lot more people. So I'm really looking forward to it as well. Right, Roy, Gordon, I think we'll close off the show. We've been going for just over an hour, I believe, if my timing's correct. It's been a very interesting show. We've gone off on a tangent as usual, but I think it's a tangent that's remained relevant to the topics at hand, what with it being Christmas and everything. So we're going to end today's show on a track that I discovered a little bit by chance. It's by a chap called Oleg Surkov, a Russian-born guitarist, and he his music is inspired very much by, in my view, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, musicians that rely on a strong lead guitar parts to produce a melody and make some very beautiful music. This chap has released a track called Leo, which is the one that's going to be played today. The full links are going to be on the show notes on the OpenBytes site and Roy's site. And it's absolutely excellent. Very, very much puts me in mind of Joe Satriani type work. His melody is absolutely fantastic. I think you're going to enjoy this one. So without further ado, we'll go over to Oleg's track, and please check out on the show notes for his webpage and go over and support him. It seems like a very nice chap. Thanks for listening, and see you next episode.